it was during the height of the pandemic. It was April 2020. And I get a call and from Global Citizen, and they're saying we're doing this one night at home live worldwide screening or streaming of all these performances. You're going to have like J-Lo and Elton John and Rolling Stone. And I was like, awesome. Okay. And it'll be on all 3 channels and all late night hosts and Lady Gaga and UNICEF and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, great, I'll be watching. And they're like, no, we want you to participate. And I was like, participate? I don't sing or dance or like not a rock and roll musician. Like, I don't think I can help you. And they're like, no, we want like a mental health voice to the show. And we want to talk about like something that can make people hopeful, because New York City was reaching the peak of its death toll, even though it was a like worldwide global program. But that time in history was really significant because we were all looking ahead at, okay, well, if it's coming to New York, then, you know, the rest of the country, what's going to happen? So I said, okay, great. You want inspiration, motivation, tips, self-care. How long do I have? Like an hour? And they're like, no, you only have 59 seconds. And I was like, dude, 59 seconds. And I remember calling my dad, and my dad's a psychiatrist. And I said, Dad, what do you say that's hopeful, motivating, this, that, in 59 seconds? And he's like, you know, it only takes a minute to save someone's life. And then he hung up the phone. And I was like, Yoda, you got to give me some more information there. Like, what do you mean a minute? And so I thought, what does my dad do that's healthy habits that are life-changing, that are explain his exceptional longevity? You know, we said that optimists live longer and longer in good health, and he's in perfect health, and he's pushing 90, but he looks, 20 years younger. And he does these 4 things every day, and they became a part of my life. Then they became prescription that I give my patients. And so I said, that is what I'm going to talk about on this 59-second global program, that people are at home who are feeling hopeless, and what can I do for my mental health? Because I remember that time, mental health used to be a niche topic, and then it exploded where everyone wanted to talk about it. So if you can only do these 4 things every day, give yourself 10 minutes. If you have more time, mastery. You do not have to be a master to experience mastery. But mastery is so important to have a sense of flow, and it also takes you out of your own rumination. So that default mode network that is ruminating and festering, and it's always on in the background, when you're focused on a task called being task positive, your norepinephrine is building in the brain. As long as the task is not so hard that you're going to get frustrated and not so easy that you're going to get bored. And there's this inverted U-shaped curve where the peak is flow state when something is just above your natural ability level. So mastery could be anything that you want to learn. It could be learning a sport, a music, a skill. It could be yoga, but it's got to be something you're interested in and that you find challenging. It could be chess, anything. Movement, so important. So like we have social snacking, which is small water cooler conversations, micro connections. I think the same thing about exercise snacking. 10 or 15 minutes 4 times a day. Get up. We know that squats, if you can do 10 of them per hour, every hour, if you're in a seated position. 2 strength training exercises for 30 minutes. Start with the bar low and continue increasing from there. Walking 2 30-minute sessions a day, if not 1 30-minute session a day. 5 to 7 days a week, but movement absolutely has to have a part in your life, both a combination of aerobic and strength training for neuroplasticity, for increasing gray matter, for memory, for concentration, for cognition, for prevention of dementia, for mood, everything across the board. Like exercise is truly the most potent medicine on earth. Obviously exercise, I would say food and sleep. So we've hit mastery, movement, meaningful engagement is going deep. So I'm a big believer in both having activity partners, micro connections. So you don't have to this person doesn't have to be your best friend for you to go on a walk with them, but just someone to pass the time with, companionship. But then also have good friends, even 1 or 2 that you can bare your soul to. We absolutely, in this world, we were talking about competitiveness. All of that can increase our cortisol and fight or flight. We constantly feel, even when we're surrounded by people who might be our colleagues, there's a perceived threat. Does this person have something I don't have? Are they going to take this opportunity? This scarcity mentality. And I feel like meaningful engagement boosts oxytocin, and you just feel like relaxed. Like the person that you feel like you can fall asleep. I always joke, my husband always falls asleep when I start talking. And I think part of it, like we joke, I talk a lot, right? And he's like, I just can't focus. I'm sorry, I'm here. I'm tired. Like we have young kids. Like But I think it's also safety. I don't take it personally.
I feel that as well.
Yeah, like psychological safety, it's therapeutic. And I've been told my voice is soothing and relaxing. And you recorded the audiobook. And I joke with people, just don't drive and listen. And because a lot of people, I'll have our guy friends, many of whom are physicians, they'll say, like, the only time I can listen to Sue's book is on my commute to my job. And I'm like, as long as it doesn't put you to sleep and you're not operating heavy machinery, but meaningful engagement is going deep and being at ease. And the person who you could take a nap with is probably, or in front of, and you wouldn't be embarrassed falling asleep, or that being in their company makes you feel relaxed, safe. Think of that as a sign that this person is good for your nervous system. And the last one is mindfulness. And in whatever way that you feel that you can focus on something single-mindedly. And I think, multitasking is great, but you're not really that efficient. Like, we're not accomplishing that much more. And I feel like even if it's drinking a cup of coffee in silence, giving yourself 5 minutes, building in time, like that is mindfulness. You're eating something, allow good taste in your mouth, just enjoy, be present, be fully present in a conversation. Stop thinking about what you're going to say next, what you're going to do next. I did that dry float experience while I was here, and it was very interesting to have never done it before. In the first few minutes, my mind is racing and of all the things that I have to do. And then I want to say 10 minutes in, I just felt so relaxed. Like, it's almost like the parasympathetic nervous system took over and it said, you're safe. And it almost felt like I was in utero again, and it reminded me of this is what it must feel like to be a baby and you're weightless and suspended and fluid, or I don't know. But mindfulness is just doing something single-mindedly, and it could be a 1-minute deep breathing exercise that you do several times a day. So again, the 4 M's of mental health are movement, mindfulness, mastery, and meaningful engagement. And if you can do each one of these 10 minutes a day, a few times a week, but write it down, right? Put it in your notes section, put it in your calendar, because it's not going to happen. But I have literally written this on when we used to have old school prescription pads, and now everything is electronic. But I would write it down, as a prescription. And I'm like, you need to figure out, treat it like a doctor's appointment.
Thanks for watching this Beyond Tomorrow clip. If you haven't subscribed yet to our main channel, join us there for conversations that can help you thrive today and flourish tomorrow. We'll see you next time.